Good evening. Good evening. We are live, I believe. Dave's going to give me the thumbs up in a minute and
We
let me
are
know
live.
that we're broadcasting. So, welcome to our latest show. This is an alien RPG, which is why I'm doing the talking instead of Dave, or that way, Dave. Well, in fact, they're both Dave, so
It doesn't matter now, does it?
No.
So, yeah, this is an alien RPG. This is a show is called The OLENYA Bay. It is written by Dave C. Mark, who's not that one, it's that one there. Dave C. Mark, who is a writer for the Alien RPG, worked on the Free League role-playing game as well. So, Dave, welcome to our show, and thank you very much for agreeing to guest GM with us this evening.
No, my pleasure. Really delighted to be here. So thanks for the invite. It's always fun to run Alien. I haven't run it online for quite a while now, so this is a lovely opportunity. Looking forward to seeing you all expire in various entertaining ways.
I was just about to say that was well said up until that moment there.
Yeah.
Sorry. It feels like that there can be only one. It's a bit Highlander game at the
moment. There might not even be one. So
half.
So as usual, we've car crashed into the beginning of this. I've forgotten what I was going to say. So welcome to Band of Badgers channel. Thank you for joining us this evening for this playthrough of the OLENYA Bay, written by Dave C. Mark. Welcome, players. How are you this evening?
Doing excellent, Steve.
Good.
Always good.
So I have GM'd 3 of these players before. Richard hasn't played in my Alien game, but 3 of them have. So I'm pretty sure that I'm in for a rough time off of those guys tonight.
Yes.
So while you're there, you want to go around, introduce yourselves, please. We'll do your character inductions later. So just introduce yourselves, where people can find you, and what you normally do when you're not streaming with us.
You need to pick one, Steve, so they know who you're talking to.
It was going to be whoever went first, but we'll start with Richard. Richard is new to our channel. Well, streaming wise, not new to Badgers. We have met several times. So Richard, you want to go first?
I'm Richard. I come from Warrior Prints 3D, 3D printing business. Massive nerd, all-time D&D fan, and pretty much perma DM except for the last few months. So very excited to play.
Cool. Thank you, Mr. Maguire.
Yes, I am Josh Maguire. You can find me at the Maguire Review and here on the Badgers.
Thank you very much. And Ian?
Hi, I'm Ian, also known as the Dragonborn Bard. I am the head bard for Dragonborn Industries, which is a dice making and tabletop apparel, props. We do a few other things. We're just branching into YouTube reviews. We're going to hopefully start streaming some of our live games from this room, which is now, as of this week, a fully fledged studio, which is super awesome. And I'm looking forward to doing that. You can also find me here on the Badgers a lot at the moment as well, which is amazing and where I have the best of times.
Thank you. And of course, you all know him as Chief Badger, but he's also the custard cream pimp himself.
The custard cream pimp. Yeah, thank you very much. You will be able to find us, me and Steve, if you're going to the UK Games Expo in June 2023. We will be there. We will have our press badges on. So we'll be walking around the shows, behind the scenes, doing everything. Of course, we will have free custard creams for anyone who asks. If I take enough this time, who knows? But anyway, cheers. Good evening all.
Thank you. You'll also find me at UK Games Expo. I should be there running the Free League stand, so come along and say hello. Also got a couple of workshops. I also am co-host for the Effect podcast, Effect with a K. Nicely done. And we have a magazine show that talks about all things Swedish gaming, but also beyond that as well. And then we have an AP channel, effectap.org, as you can see there, where we put out all the games that we play around our own dining room tables. So yeah, delighted to be here.
Thank you very much. And I'm Steve, and you probably won't find me anywhere else on the internet other than here.
Steve. We have exclusive rights to Steve.
Exclusive rights.
Steve.
Steve on the lockdown.
You leave me, you get nothing. You're going nowhere, kid. Nowhere without me.
Right.
If this is the vibe we're getting, this is going to be a long evening for me. I can tell.
Yeah, it's really going to go off.
For the first 30 minutes, and then the realization sets in that I have to kind of take it seriously. Yeah.
My character's called Fam. Everyone's going, yeah, what's up, Fam? Yo.
Right. Okay.
I've worked out who's the first casualty. So it's been a pleasure playing with you, Ian. So
Yeah.
You
already hit him with wrench.
Yeah.
I've got a gun.
You got a gun?
No.
Bundle.
Right. On that note, we'll move away from the jollies, and we'll get down to the serious business of allowing Dave to do the introduction to this one-shot scenario, and tell us the sad and sorry tale of why we've already got every single condition applied to our characters. I'm waiting to hear, and I'm gonna flick my headphones on, so that hopefully they're charged. So over to you, Dave. And again, thank you very much for agreeing to do this, even though you may not be regretting it.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. I will get you guys to introduce your characters after I've given you the introduction. So, What's the story, Mother? You knew it was a risky job, crewing the prospecting vessel UMV Tunguska on the turbulent seas of LV 917, a planet in the far reach of the American arm, but not far from the Union of Progressive Peoples territory and close enough to be contested. The UPP needs the oil that's been prospecting in this deep and deadly ocean, the oil that is drilled up by the deep-range oil platforms. You know these waters, you've sailed them before, but even you didn't expect to see the freak wave the size of those coming for your ship. No one saw the danger until it was too late. You were the lucky six, because there is another NPC with you as well. You got to a lifeboat as Tunguska's distress flares fired. The Mayday call was probably the last order the captain ever gave. You were the first away as wave after wave struck the Tunguska. You watched her roll, capsize, and sink in one smooth, slow-motion movement. No other lifeboats launched. She went down with all hands except you. You launched the Mayday buoy, but the UPP's poor maintenance regime has left your comm system broken, the boat taking on water, and a nasty coughing splutter from the engine. You knew your position wasn't far from an old and abandoned drilling rig, the deep-range platform OLENYA Bay. Not unlike drilling rigs you've worked on before, OLENYA Bay would be a safer place to wait for rescue than your lifeboat, despite the fact that you'd heard it was abandoned for being structurally unsound and likely to collapse under the freak waves in this ocean. But it's still there, a year later, an island of hope in the desolation of the deep open range. You struggle for 2 days and 2 nights against terrible winds and huge seas, your lifeboat riding ever lower in the water. And then finally you see it on the horizon, the dark silhouette of OLENYA Bay against the orange twilight. Your salvation, such as it is. You approach as fast as your ailing vessel can manage through the roller coaster waves of this dark sea, and you get a good view of the rig. The OLENYA Bay platform is a moored tension platform, a floating rig that is tethered to the sea floor by 3 heavy tethers. The place is dilapidated, with patches of angry rust spreading all over and debris swinging in the winds. You can see the shattered windows on the decks, as well as welded walls and beaten panels. The place looks lifeless and dark, but most worryingly, the whole rig is riding too high in the water, clear evidence that the tethers are either misaligned or failing. Your lifeboat bumps against an island of undulating sargassum, a mass of seaweed that's gathered around the base of the giant structure. A long, rickety metal ladder extends from the lower spider deck, bending and flexing with the rising and dipping of the ocean. The engine dies, swamped by the weed that literally tears the propeller from your boat, and you shudder to a halt. Holding onto the boat as it rocks in the swirling sea, you glance up at the drilling rig towering above you. Did you see a tiny glimmer, a flicker of light up there? Nah, it must be your exhausted mind playing tricks, as this place has been abandoned for months. That's where you are, gentlemen. If I could get you each to briefly introduce your character, without necessarily giving away too much information that the other characters might not wish to hear from your agenda, that would be great. Where should we start? Let's start with the officer, Galina Ivarenka.
Greetings, I'm Galina Ivarenka. I am an officer on board the Tunguska, and I am not happy with the situation. We should be better looked after than this.
Cool, thank you. How about the commissar? Probably the next most important one of you, if not the most important one. Steve.
Yes, of course, the most important. I am Slaven Mushenko, and it's my responsibility to ensure that the crew of the Tunguska, what is left of it, has their political savvy intact. Their souls are at stake, as is the soul of the UPP. Because if the Tunguska went down for either lack of maintenance and poor negligence on the part of some of the crew, or sabotage on the part of the United Americas, then it is my duty to find out and take those responsible back to face justice.
Cool, thank you. Let's move to the pilot, Sun Chun Hee.
That would be me. I'm a career pilot. I am nerves of steel. But I'm pretty reckless with what I do. I am North Korean through and through. I am generational in that respect. And anything that is America's, United Americas, I'm against. We are the UPP. It is us or nothing.
Cool. How about the Marshal, Pham Vo Minh?
I'm Pham Vo Minh. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, and although I grew up hating the Americas, I've also now seen the cracks in the UPP. I was a marshal for the Tung Zek, but now I want to know why OLENYA Bay is abandoned.
Cool, thank you. Right, and last but not least, we have Yuri Turgenev.
Hello, I'm Yuri. What you see with Yuri is a young man. He's covered in grime up his arms. He's wearing, thick thick mechanics type outfit overall. He's got kind of grime across his brow, and he's Ukrainian, and he's suffered quite a bit of discrimination as he's kind of tried to come up through the ranks. And right now he's basically just a engineering hand, very nervous type guy, and really just focused on getting back home.
Cool. Your surviving crew is rounded out with the sixth of your group, who's called Aliz Asanovic. And Asanovic was the safety officer on board Tunguska. He is suffering very badly from his terrible grief and guilt over what happened. But he is still with you and is on the boat, but is kind of gone in upon himself a little bit. He's gone very quiet and obviously is suffering. So you have arrived at the base of OLENYA Bay. The platform is towering above you. As you saw from the diagram we had up a moment ago, the lower deck, the spider deck, is about 40 meters from the water. Above that, you have the crew deck, which its railings around the side are about 60 meters. And then at the top, you've got the operations deck and the landing pad. That's where you've got the drilling derrick and the comms tower. and that's a total of about 80 meters above the water. The water itself is very choppy. The seas around here are very rough. The entire base of the platform is surrounded by a very thick mass of sargassum, of very dense seaweed that's all accumulated around the bottom. The access ladder that would take you up into an access chamber on the spider deck is actually going into the water and coming out of the water. As the water swells, it goes above the bottom of the ladder and then it comes down, and there's maybe a 5 or 6 meter gap between the ladder and the water. Every time the water comes up, the sargassum is hitting the ladder and it's bending and twisting, looking quite rickety, but it hasn't broken or fallen down yet. Your boat has had its propeller torn off as it got caught in the seaweed, and you are about 20 meters from the bottom of that ladder. What are you going to do, guys?
I'm going to be the first one to get off this boat because this thing's done. I'm a pilot. The engine's gone. Let's go. So I'm going to time it as best I can. And when that ladder starts to descend and I start ascending, I'm going to make a jump for it. I'm going to make a grab for it.
So at the moment, you are about 20 meters away from the bottom of that ladder.
Okay. So I'm going to wait till it gets closer.
So we're 20 meters horizontally away from the ladder, and then every now and again we're 4 meters below it.
Yeah.
Does the sargassum look like it would take our weight? Obviously, it stopped the boat in its tracks. If we was to spread ourselves out, could we like crawl across the mat of seaweed?
You think that might work? Yeah. It looks. If you take something like an oar or something and jam it into it, that obviously goes in, but it is quite dense. Would it take the weight of a person for very long? You're not sure. Crawling across it might be the best way of trying.
Looking around, I have a life jacket. Does everyone else have a life jacket on?
Yuri has jacket.
I have jacket.
I have jacket.
And do we have enough oars?
I think you've probably got a couple of oars on this boat. It was not terribly well maintained, like the rest of Tunguska wasn't terribly well maintained. You do have before you leave the boat, you do have there is a small storage like locker, and within that there are a few items which you obviously would have seen over the last couple of days. By this point, you are now freezing, starving, exhausted, dehydrated. You need warm, you need dry, you need water, you need some food. But within the locker, there's a number of items which you can obviously take and share amongst yourselves. One is an ASO 400 harpoon grappler, which is there are 2 reloads with that. There is a cutting torch with a power of 3. There are 2 flashlights, each with 2 power. A 10-meter coil of synthetic rope, a set of binoculars, and 2 heavy wrenches. So you can take any, all, or none of that if you wish to.
I don't wait for permission. I immediately reach in and take a heavy wrench and a flashlight.
I grab one of the wrenches very quick as well.
I grab a flashlight.
As soon as the commissar kind of like just reaches in and grabs something that's like a snort and a kind of chuckle.
See the harpoon there past the fam. Your best shot, you should use this.
I will do this.
If I can. So with the harpoon grappler, is this the thing where we have to attach the rope that we have to it, or is it already got one that will we could like launch up and possibly use to scale up?
So you do have 2 shots with it, which do have rope attached.
I'll take the rope.
But there's only about 40 meters, maybe 50 at the most of rope on those. They don't go very far.
Okay.
And how large is this cutting torch? Is this like a small handheld?
Yeah, it's a handheld cutting torch. Yeah.
Okay.
So all those items will We'll take up 1 inventory slot, 1 encumbrance slot, with the exception of the harpoon grappler, which will take 2.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a big, chunky piece of equipment.
No worries.
Once I've taken my items, I turn to Yuri. Yuri, I believe you are the largest of us. I would like to test the theory on whether this mat will take our weight. I suggest that you, with Fam's assistance, launch the grapple gun at the ladder. Use that as a guide, and we will tie this rope around your waist, and you head across the mat, crawling until you reach the ladder. Then the rest of us will follow, using the rope as a device to aid our journey.
Why do you not lead in this?
I use my talent, personal safety, to convince Yuri if he seems unwilling.
In this moment, Yuri is willing. Yuri is more nervous being here than doing something like that. So Yuri's looking to get to safety. So I'm completely willing.
Yuri, if you go, you take ore as well. It will help you.
Thank you.
So the boat is slowly settling in the water and slowly. It's not going to sink quickly, but it is definitely sinking into the sargassum.
Okay, I want to make sure I grabbed that cutting torch as well. If nobody else took that.
Yep.
I guess
the cutting torch has 3 power, and anyone who took a flashlight, they've got 2 power each.
There was nothing left in the box, was there? I've taken the rope.
You've taken the rope. So what else was in there? Flashlight, set of binoculars is the only other thing in there.
I take that as well.
You guys. I guess I'll aim the grappler and try.
Actually, if you need to see target, you take this.
I don't think the binoculars will help him from this distance.
But he doesn't question it. He will just take the binoculars without saying anything.
Okay.
Like looks dead-eye at the console while he puts them into his own pack. Like, I didn't get these from you. He then raises up the grappler and looks to aim and try and get it onto the ladder, I guess.
Okay, that's going to be a ranged combat roll, please, Fam.
Sure, Fam, let's go.
So I think you already have 1 point of stress because of the journey getting here. So don't forget that. You can aim if you wish, which would be +2. But you're at -2 because the boat is rocking. The swell that comes through under here is pretty big. It's 5 or 6 meter swell. So the boat is rocking pretty heavily.
Well, I mean, it negates the take aim, doesn't it? So there's no point in actually doing that. So here it is. I've got 8 dice for this. No, I haven't. It's ranged combat, isn't it?
Yeah, ranged combat.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's 5 dice. Damn, I was looking at close combat. And 1 stress. The stress is a 3. We've got 2 6s, 2 4 3.
Okay, that's perfectly good enough. Yeah, you shoot it really well. It goes through a couple of the rungs, lands on the other side. You've now got a rope caught on the ladder.
I'll take the other end of it and he kind of takes one knee and slams the end of the grappler into the side of the boat, then takes the rope and starts one-handed doing a knot to any kind of anchorage point.
Right. Okay, that's cool. You can do that. Yeah. Can I have a group observation roll, please? Now that means the person with the best observation makes the roll for the group.
I've got 5 and +1 6 for the stress.
So obviously you include your attribute as well as your ability for that. Yeah. Cool. So who was the highest?
So with the stress dice, I've got 6. It's 5 normally. I've got 6 with the stress dice.
Yeah. So whoever's got 5, one of you would need to make the roll, and obviously include your stress die.
I got 1 6 and a 5 on the stress dice.
Yeah. Okay. You kind of collectively, whilst you're busy getting this ready, you do notice the water. Obviously, the swell makes the sargassum go up and down a bit. You can see that. You do see sometimes a little bulge in the sargassum that doesn't look like a wave caused it. Nothing comes out, but something, whether there's, I don't know, something under the sargassum or Is there a bit of water that's got caught? You just see a little bulge come up and then go down about 20 meters off the bow.
Everyone, did you just see that?
I think we should hurry, Yuri.
Yeah, he pats Yuri's shoulders like, take care.
We've got the rope.
So I'll grab the rope and I'll start tying it around my waist and like I'll put it in a real nice knot.
Yep.
I shoulder the grappler and I pull out a handgun.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Yuri, you're getting off the boat and onto the seaweed.
Yeah, like so. I'm first gonna pull out the oar. We test seaweed, and I'll kind of like poke it a little bit, kind of get the feel for like the density right before I step off the boat. And then I'll take the oar. I'll just kind of shove it sort of back down in my overalls the best I can, so it's kind of like on my back. And then I'll just kind of go over the side of the boat very, very slowly and just sort of mat myself kind of out on that seaweed. And I'll just not full swimming, but I'll almost just be like crawling slowly like this, just dragging my body across it.
Yeah. Okay. So when you get onto the seaweed, it's definitely giving you some support, but it's very wet. It's very spongy. And you can feel as if you stay in the same spot for very long, you start to sink into it a little bit. As you're crawling, I'm going to need a mobility test.
Okay.
Please. This is to try and avoid the sinking that's happening. But as you are quite cleverly trying to spread your weight, I give you +2 to that.
Okay, so it's 3, 5, 6. All right. So 7 with my stress die. Okay, I got 1, 2 6s.
Yeah. Okay. It's tricky because this stuff it's not like quicksand, but it does have a kind of a sucking effect on you. But you're doing a really good job of crawling. It's quite slow, but you are definitely making progress, and you're not sinking under it quite yet.
Okay. All right. Then I'll
just watching Yuri.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. Right.
How far away is he at the moment?
So I think it's about halfway. I think one more mobility roll will get him to the bottom of the ladder.
Okay, so as soon as he's about 10 meters away, I start going across.
Yep. Okay. Yuri, can you give me another mobility roll as you're closing towards the ladder? But again, this is all quite difficult because again, the swell is quite big. So this sort of like this surface of seaweed is really going up and down, and you're sort of kind of riding a roller coaster a little bit as you're doing this.
No 6s.
No. Okay.
None.
Can you roll a d6 for me, please, Josh?
Yep. I got a 6.
Okay. As you're crawling along, you must just hit a patch that's really not very dense, and your whole bottom half just falls kind of into the water. You're kind of hanging on to the surface just by your arms, and you can feel the seaweed trying to suck you down under the water.
Okay. Yeah, in this moment, I start to panic. Help! Help! Son! Help! I start to yell for Son.
I'm happy just to dive off the side of the boat and just body flat skydive and try and move. I've got no protection. I've just literally got the life jacket on, and I've got an oar. I'm just literally trying to crawl my way as fast as I can to Europe.
Yeah, and even though I can swim and I do have a life jacket on, I am like panicking, almost like, if I was going under, because I assume I feel it almost feels like the seaweed is the weight of it is drawing me under.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Had I already set out before this happened?
Yes. Can you make a mobility roll first, Steve, please?
If there's any oars left, I'm going to grab one for myself and I'll pass one to Fam.
There were only 2, I'm afraid, Veronica.
That's fine. Obviously, if I launch the grappler and it's now like diagonal up towards the ladder, do I think that Galliano could shimmy up that to the ladder?
Well, you could try. The difficulty is that the end of the rope is attached to the boat, and the boat is doing this. So the rope
We
isn't
could probably
taut.
use it to pull along in the,
Yeah.
You could use
across
it.
the swell.
You could use it to pull along.
The
doing
lump
that.
the lump that was
What-
moving through the seaweed. Is there any more movement on that, or is that?
Are you watching for it? Okay, I'll come back to you in a second. So, Steve, what was your dice roll?
So I got 2 6s on the normal dice and a 6 on the stress dice. That's 3 6s in total.
Yeah, you're okay. You've got off. It feels really quite firm to you where you are.
Can I be cheeky?
Sure.
Can
Well,
I
you
try
can
and
ask.
give one of those? Can I try and use one of those 6s to assist Yuri? You know, can I jump in such a way that my body weight affects the seaweed and try and lift him out slightly?
He's
Give him a
about
bit of a
10
boost?
meters away from you.
Okay, yeah.
If you were closer, I'd say yes. If you came up with some whizzy plan about how you could throw a rope to him or something, then maybe. But if you don't have a rope, then
I
no.
don't have.
But bear in mind, you can do stunts with your extra successes. That if I'm being kind and feeling generous, I might let it happen.
I will head in now that I've gone in and I've seen this happen. I will head towards him as well, please.
Yep.
We'll obviously go in the same direction.
As that's going on, Bam's like, Galina, help me pull boat. And he starts like trying to pull on the rope and getting you to try and help pull it along to get to Yuri.
Fam, we'll see what's in the water first. Whatever that thing is, could be dangerous.
Okay, yeah, Avarenka, if you're watching, you do see another kind of bulge in the seaweed, as if it feels a bit like it's a small. I mean, it's not as big as a whale, but like a whale does when it comes up and then goes down.
And you said it doesn't move. It moves separate from like the wave action sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something under there creating another bulge, and this is a bit close. This is about 10 meters from the boat now.
Quick, fam, let's get to the ladder.
Yeah, we will just start pulling.
Okay, Son, you've just dived in. I need a mobility roll from you to see how well that goes for you.
Okay, mobility. 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got 7 plus speed stress. I have 1 6, and I've got a 6 on the stress dice.
Okay, you're all good. So you land. You're not sinking yet. You can try and make progress towards Yuri.
Yeah. If I'm confident enough, I will move as fast as I can.
Yeah. Okay. So I think yes, Mushenko and Son, you probably get to Yuri at about the same time. Yuri, you will need to make one survival roll for me, please, because you are feeling yourself beginning to go under the water, and this is your desperate attempt to keep your head above water.
Okay. I got 1 6.
Okay, yeah. So you manage to keep your head above water, just as you see Mushenko and Son sort of like scrabbling quickly across the seaweed to get to you. Fam and Ivarenka, you were both pulling on the rope to try and drag the boat towards the ladder. You immediately see the ladder twist and bend in your direction and creak, and you can see like bits of rust falling down from the top. It makes a god-awful screeching noise.
Grab Avarenka, like, stop.
And the boat hasn't moved an inch.
We have to crawl.
Keep the rope near. It might help us if we are in water.
Okay,
goes for it.
On the boat, you feel something thud against the back of the boat. Hard. And the boat moves. Not a lot.
Use that momentum to go.
Belly flopping straight onto the seaweed.
Okay, I'm going to throw us into initiative now, gentlemen.
Whoa!
So I'll start with Steve. You're on 4s.
4, right? Thank you.
Son, you're on 6.
6.
Where are we next? Ivarenka, you're on 1.
That does not sound good.
No, low is good in
One's
this.
good. One's good.
Low is good. Yuri, you're on 5s.
5.
You're 3, baby.
And Fam, You're on 7s. Okay.
Well, guess I'm going down with this ship.
Okay. The thing that you are facing is going on 9s, 3s, and 8s.
So hopefully there's more than one. Otherwise, that's not.
Is it very big, or there's 3 of them?
Or
I'm hoping
very
it's
fast.
Very fast.
I don't know what I'm hoping for, but
okay,
It's friendly.
Azarenka, on 1s, you go first.
I'm just trying to get across seaweed.
Okay. Are you crawling or trying to run, or how are you trying to do this?
I'm crawling and keeping the rope near to be able to pull me across, to pull on if I need to, if I sink. But I'm trying to get across.
Yeah. Okay. Mobility roll for you, please.
Okay.
As you are crawling a bit, you get +1 on this.
Okay, so if stress dice 4, 5, 1, 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You managed to scrabble. It's not easy, but you managed to get about halfway across. You're about 10 meters away. 3. The creature in the water is taking an action. All you can hear is the tearing and the crunching of the boat, of fibers of the boat, parts of the boat. You can hear splintering of wood and the scraping of metal.
That's it, little fishy. You get your fill.
Okay, 4s. We have Mushenko.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue to the ladder, but as I move past Yuri, I'm going to grab the rope that's tied around his waist. So I'm going to basically take the other end of the rope to the ladder.
Right, okay. Mobility roll for you, please, Steve.
A 6 on the stress dice.
Okay. Yeah. So
Nice.
you managed to scrabble off. You've got hold of the rope, the end of the rope that's tied around Yuri, and you've got yourself on the sargassum beneath the ladder. But still, you are kind of rising up to the ladder, and then you're falling away from the ladder as the swell comes through.
Yeah.
5s, Yuri.
Okay, so yeah, I'll hold on to the rope that's around me and just sort of like kind of try to draw myself closer, right? And just kind of keep going that way.
Yeah, okay. If you can make a stamina roll, then this is to try and pull yourself out of the water, or
Okay.
out of the cloying seaweed that's trying to hold you down.
Okay, that's a 1-6.
Yeah, okay. So you've managed to pull yourself out from the sucking seaweed, but you are still where you were, but you're not under the water anymore.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, 6s. Sun Chun Hee.
I'm going to continue to where Yuri and Slaven are. So, because I'm behind them, so I'm just trying to catch up. I'll keep going across. You want another mobility roll?
Yes, please.
Okay, same again. Oh, there's a lot of dice here. Okay, I've got 3 6s, and that's it. I've got a 2 on the stress dice.
Yeah, you do really well. You've found a really good piece, or you've got a really good technique to get across the seaweed. And you find yourself now sort of past Yuri, and again at the base of the ladder.
Okay.
7, Fam.
Yeah, being on the boat and just getting ready to jump off it. I guess when it started to gnaw down or whatever it is on the back, Fam basically like looks back, looks down at the rope, looks ahead at everyone scrambling, and then that rope that he'd attached from the ladder to the boat, he grabs it with one hand, re-undoes the knot, and then tries to jump and then crawl across the seaweed.
Okay, I think you can undo the rope and then jump over the side, but that's about as far as you can get
Absolutely fine.
this round. Okay.
Exactly. I imagine that I'm less force than the boat and 2 of us pulling. I'm hoping that rope will give me a little bit of aid, maybe. I know the risk.
Well, you also notice that when you do that, the boat itself had been sort of upending slightly, and the pressure on the rope from the boat on the ladder had been increasing. So it kind of like you get a little like a rope burn on your hand when you take it off because it zzz off it, but it takes the tension off the ladder a little bit.
Oh, good.
The creature has more actions, so its next action. There's even more. You can hear just the back end of that boat is being completely shredded. You don't know what this thing is. You don't know what it's doing to it, but you're just hearing lots of splintering noises. And then you just hear a kind of splash and it goes quiet. Next round, Ivarenka, you're on ones.
I'm going forward. Keep going. Keep going.
Yep. Okay. That's another mobility roll, please.
Two sixes.
Yeah. Okay. You've now managed to get to where Mashenko and Sun Chun Hee are. You're all sort of on the seaweed at the bottom of the ladder. Threes. So Fam,
Hello.
you can feel that the seaweed under you is being pushed up, and it suddenly becomes much firmer than it was. You don't see anything, but there's definitely something underneath there, directly under your feet. Take a point of stress, please, Fam.
Oh, yeah.
But it hasn't attacked or anything yet. That was its action, getting into position.
Yeah.
Fours, Mashenko, Steve. The sea is rising. The ladder is coming closer.
I'm basically waiting for it to get low enough for me to be able to reach up or jump onto it. I want to take my arm that's holding the rope, the slack rope, to Yuri's waist and just shove that through one of the rungs. So I'm basically hanging on like that.
Yep.
When the opportunity presents itself.
The opportunity presents itself.
Okay. Do you need me to make a roll?
A mobility roll, yes, please.
Mobility roll.
This is all quite difficult.
Yes. I got 2 sixes and a 5 on a stress dice.
Okay, yeah, you managed that. Yeah,
can I take a fast action? I don't want to climb or anything. I'm just going to hang on so I know I'm safe. And then I want to look across at the boat, and I believe our safety officer is still sat in the boat because he or she hasn't moved. So I want to yell, Anis, get off of the boat, get to the ladder.
Yeah, Asanovich was just kind of stood at the front of the boat, frozen.
Yeah.
Hearing you shout that, he kind of looks up and he kind of like gets off the boat and drops onto the seaweed next to Fam and starts to crawl in a pretty kind of panicked way, but in the direction of the ladder.
Okay.
5. That's Yuri. Yes, please.
Yeah, so I pop back up from under the water. I'm panicking. How far am I from the actual platform at this point?
You're about 10 meters from the bottom of the ladder.
Okay, so the rope is taut, so I'm gonna be pulling on the rope at the same time, just clawing at the seaweed to try to get closer and closer. I'm trying to just basically get to the platform.
Yep. So I think that's going to be a mobility roll, but I'll give you +3 because you've got the rope to help you.
Okay, so that's going to be
because again the sea is so rough.
That is 1, 2, 3 6s.
Okay, yeah, you have no trouble. Yeah, you've got yourself to the bottom. I think with 3 6s, I'd allow you to grab hold of the bottom rung as well.
Okay, the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm all the way up on the platform. I'll crawl up on the platform, and then
so basically the ladder comes 40 meters down from the bottom of the spider deck.
Right.
So there isn't actually a platform at the bottom of the ladder. If there was, it broke off long ago.
Okay.
So you're now just trying to grab hold of this metal, very thin, flimsy metal ladder that's hanging down.
All right.
with
So
with that roll, you could grab the bottom rung if you wanted to.
okay. So am I basically like face to face with Slavin there?
Pretty much, Slavin is probably a few rungs up because
Okay.
he jumped.
All right.
He jumped to try and get a bit further up.
Okay.
But you are
I'm
alongside
that ladder.
You're alongside Sun as well, so Sun is there. And I think it's Sun's action.
Okay, I'm watching exactly what's going on. So, I'm gonna reach. Am I on the last rung, or
you can grab
do I have
hold
to
of
make
it?
Yeah.
You'd have to make a grab, yeah. Because again, so this
Mobility.
is like, yeah.
Yeah. I got 1-6, and the stress is a 3.
Yeah. Okay, so all three of you are now kind of hanging on to the bottom 4 or 5 rungs of the ladder.
Hurry! If I look to Yuri, because we're on the same level, hurry, Yuri, because this thing is not going to hold. Keep moving.
So, Sun, you do have a fast action left. So you obviously get a slow action and a fast action. So you could use that fast action to go halfway up the ladder.
That's fine. What I want to do is, if I'm holding on by my arms, is go high enough that I can get my feet on some of those rails as well. So I can start going up the side of the ladder.
Okay.
So I'm on both sides rather than doing this. I'm doing that on the side. Is that another mobility check or?
No, I don't need to make a roll for that one. I think because you're on there, you can do that.
Come, Yuri. Let's go.
Okay, sevens.
I'll start to do the same thing.
Yep. Fam, sevens.
Yeah. With that kind of like panicked, like there's just me and this other officer left. He's crawling. I'm just going to try and like use that rope and try and like pull myself along it. And if I can use that to somehow, instead of trying to crawl across the seaweed, use that as my pull, because hopefully I'm less tension than the boat.
Yes, you can definitely give that a try. It will still be a mobility roll, please, but I will give you +2.
Right, and 2 stress dice. Well, the stress dice, there's a 1.
Okay, that's a panic.
And no 6s.
Okay, so that's a fail. Roll your panic, please. So roll d6 and add 2 for your total stress.
So that's 3d6s, yeah?
No, just roll 1d6, 1 to 6, and add 2 for your number of stress dice. 7. Okay. Your stress level goes up by another 1, fam, as you start to have a nervous twitch.
Nice.
You're pulling yourself along the rope. It's very wet. It slips. I think you burned your hand slightly a moment ago. It hurts. It's very salty, and you just fail to get anywhere.
Yeah.
The creature beneath the water is going to go for either Fam or Asanovich. So, Fam, did you want to roll a d6 and tell me if it's a 1, 2, or 3?
No, you absolutely go for it. You're the GM.
Okay.
Have you fun.
I do tend, as a GM, if there are signature attacks against the player, I like the player to roll it if they're happy to.
Okay, if that's what you do. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this isn't a signature attack because he might not be going for you.
Oh, okay.
So this is to see whether he's going for you or for the other guy. But
Nice.
I can roll that. It's a 1. So as you are trying to move, you can suddenly feel beneath your feet the seaweed parting, and this creature. It looks like a cross between some kind of giant, what's the word I'm looking for? Giant shrimp, but crossed with a scorpion. But it bursts through the seaweed. And can you make a roll for the signature attack, please, Fam?
What do you need me to roll?
1d6. Low tends to be better for you.
Good, because that's a 6.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, well, this is appropriate. So it makes an attack against your legs, trying to stop you escaping. And it attacks with 8 dice.
Nice to see you again, Ian.
Goodbye, fam. You've been very good on this journey.
Okay, it gets 1 success.
Is that it?
Not too bad.
Said so boldly.
It does 2 points of damage. Do you have any armor at all?
I've got the life jacket. I don't know if that counts as armor or not.
No, that wouldn't give you any armor. If you had any armor, it would be written on your character sheet.
No, I don't.
No, okay.
2 damage. Yeah.
So you take 2 damage, but you also immediately suffer a critical injury, and that's 35. And it's broken your kneecap.
Oh shit!
You hear something snap. There's an intense pain, and you can't run or walk. You can only crawl. I think you probably scream at this moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just like, "Ah!" And like, yeah, you just hear like he's holding on his legs just backwards. And
the rest of you will probably catch some of this out the corner of your eye, and this creature, which, as I said, looks like a cross between a giant prawn and a scorpion, has come out. It's used these like big pincers to grab his leg. You can hear it snap, and then it falls back into the water and goes back underneath. It's Ivarenka's action on the next round.
Holy shit.
yeah.
I move as quick as I can, but I grab the rope and I'll call out to Fam. Hold the rope, Fam. I pull for you.
Yeah.
And it's a case of I'm keeping the rope with me so that when we get to the ladder, hopefully we can then pull Fam along.
Yeah, cool. Could you make a roll, a mobility roll, to get to the bottom of the ladder? Because I think you're the only one other than Fam who hasn't made it yet, aren't you?
Okay. 2 6s and a 4 on my stress dice.
No, that's fine. It's only a 1 on your stress die you need to worry about. Yeah, so that's great. You get to the bottom of the ladder, no trouble at all. You've got the rope. And Fam is on the other end of the rope.
Screaming.
6s. 6. Sun, you are halfway up the ladder.
Yep. Is it noisy where we are? Is it kind of, is it stormy because of the waters? Or if I was to shout out to Fam and Galena, can they actually hear me from where they are? They're
Yes.
At the bottom of the right.
Yeah, it's quite noisy because of the water and the wind, but they are only about 20 or 30 meters away from you.
Okay. So we've got Slaven who's above us, Yuri is kind of slightly below me, and Galena and Fam are at the very bottom. I'm going to just shout to Yuri to say, help them if we can. Help them get up the ladder if we can.
I'll kind of look down, and I will continue to climb up.
Right, okay.
Yuri, where are you going?
I think
we have to help
Yuri's actually first. Actually, yeah.
I'm going to keep climbing. I'm going to keep climbing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can keep climbing. You do all notice that this ladder is creaking and squealing under the weight of 4 people.
All of us.
But it's not breaking. But it's not. It wouldn't pass even UPP's health and safety protocols. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So Josh, you're going back up the ladder. You're up the ladder. You get to the top, and there's a mesh trapdoor or a mesh hatch at the top, which you will be able to open when you get there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll climb up over the top, go to the hatch. There's no resistance or anything, right? Just pop it right open.
Yeah, you can just push it open. Yeah, that's probably as far as you can get right now.
And then I'll look down. I'll look down in the hatch. I see like a ladder or.
No, so this is your ladder. It's going up to the hatch, and this is taking you onto the level above. So you're still on the ladder
above me.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'll push it open, and I'll go ahead and just come all the way out. What do I see once I kind of get up there?
I'll come back to that in a moment because it's Steve's Mashenko. It's your action. Okay. Sorry, I got the initiatives out of order there, so my bad.
That's all right. No problem. There's a lot going on. So I'm actually gonna. I had the other end of the rope that is currently attached to Yuri's waist.
Yes.
I'm going to tie that to the ladder.
Okay.
The idea was that Yuri then unties the bit that's wrapped around his waist, and it provides a way for Fam and our
fine.
safety officer to get up the ladder if they happen to arrive there when the swell is at its lowest point. So I'm not doing this to screw Yuri over. That's just a happy accident.
It's like you're not going anywhere.
So I'm going to use my my standard action to tie the rope to the ladder, and then for my move, I'm just going to start climbing.
Yep. Okay, that's cool. Ian, Fam, sevens.
Yeah, I'm going to try and grizzle my way using that rope that Overenker is pulling on to try and get to the ladder.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to be another mobility roll. This time I'm only going to give you +2 because you can't use one of your legs to help you.
Absolutely fine. So I got a 6 on the stress, 1 on the stress dice,
That's
and a
fine.
1 on the stress dice.
Okay, so that's one success, but also it's a panic.
We then have 1 6.
But you got a 6 on your stress dice as well, yeah?
Yeah, so 2 6s and a 1.
That's 2 6s. But you rolled a 1 on one of your stress die.
Yeah.
All right. So that would be succeeding, but now make a panic roll. So let's roll 1d6 and add 3, which I think is your stress total now.
5.
5. Okay, you just about managed to keep your wits about you here, and yes, you managed to use that and pull yourself along to the bottom of the ladder. Asanovic alongside you is still pretty effectively doing like a baby crawl across the seaweed. The creature that went under the water. So who's still down at the bottom? Ivarenka, you're still down at the bottom, aren't you? Fam is, and Asanovic. Okay. Fam. He seems to like you. Basically, he's not letting you get away. And it comes, you can see it coming out of the thing. It's coming behind you, and it's making an attack against you again. So could you please make another roll for a signature attack?
5. If I shoot this officer next to me, do I think the thing will go for him?
You don't know. So as it's coming out of the water, basically, it kind of, as you imagine, if like a submarine comes up, there's a great big sort of like bow wave of water and stuff, and that all comes up, and out of that bow wave, this thing leaps, and as it leaps, a big tail comes round and it's swiping at you with quite a lot of dice. Okay, but it misses. It clangs against the bottom of the ladder. And the whole ladder, like, you could feel it all the way up and down the ladder, but it's missed you.
Wow.
Next round, ones, Ivarenka. This thing has just launched out of the water and it's kind of right next to you.
There's 4 of us on the ladder now, isn't there? Or has anyone gotten up yet?
Now, everybody's still on the ladder. Yuri is just at the very top, but he hasn't untied himself yet.
I'm going to have to keep going up because I need to make room for Fam and to get to a stable point past the bend so that we can pull him up. So I'm going up if I can.
Yeah, you can. That's absolutely fine. I won't make you make a roll for that as you're on the bottom of the ladder already. 4s, Mushenko.
I'm going to just move this round. So I'm going to try and, just go all the way to the top if I can.
Yeah, you can get to the top and you can get through the hatch, which Yuri has already pushed open last round.
I will do that. And as I pass him, I will say, Yuri, you need to untie your rope so that Fam and Anis can get up from the bottom of the ladder.
Oh, good thinking. And I'll just drop it.
Yeah, it's your action next, Yuri. So you can do that, and you can use your fast action to climb out onto the ocean access deck, which is just where Mushenko's gone.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then what do I see once I get up there?
What you see is a quite a small, very grimy metal chamber with 3 doors, 3 hatches, one on each of 3 sides. So you kind of come up. I mean, Steve, did you want to put up the mat? There we go. Perfect. So that's what you can see. The ladder is. Bear with me a moment. Let me just go here. So the ladder is coming up obviously the gap here where there's where you can see the water through it. It's all very wet and very salty, very slippery, and there are three hatches. But otherwise, you can't see so much else there at the moment.
Okay.
That was 5s. 6s. Sun, it's your action.
With Fam and if Galena is going to pass me, I'm going to slowly work my way back down. I'm going to try to help Fam.
Yeah. Okay.
Fam's going to need some help with that busted leg because it's only going to be able to do so much. But if I can get up to the next rope now that Yuri's untied the rope, does it fall back down? And
it does.
If I can get Fam back up to the bottom of the rope at least and tie them on.
If Sam goes to pass me, can I talk sort of at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just say, with the rope, if we tie on here and we can both pull Fam up.
Yeah, good idea, Galena. Let's do that.
He's got the other end of the rope.
Yep, start tying it off.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. So Fam, there's a rope. Well, you've got the rope. You can try and climb up. The guys above you are helping you, so you get dice of assistance from them.
Awesome.
So it will be a mobility roll, but I'll give you 2 dice of assistance, one from Sun and one from Ivarenka. And as you're doing this, you can see that Asanovic is also now grabbing hold of the bottom rung and trying to pull himself up.
I'll also shout down to Asanovic, come on! We've got to go to the
I'm coming.
Move your ass.
What do you think I'm doing?
2, 3, 5 on the stress, and there is 1, 2, 3 6s.
Okay. You obviously the incentive of having this enormous thing behind you wanting to eat you has worked wonders. And with the help of the rope and your good leg, you managed to pull your way up halfway up the ladder with the other guys. You can hear the ladder beginning to creak. There's no sort of, it hasn't had use like this in months, if ever. The creature down below basically leaps out of the water and attaches itself or attacks the ladder itself because it can't reach any of the rest of you. And at the top, Mushenko and Turgenev, you can see that some of the connections for the ladder are beginning to shake and there are bits of rusted metal coming off, and it's not going to take this weight for very long. It's 1s again. So, Ivarenka.
I'll keep going up the ladder, keeping that rope with me, trying to sort of help Fam, but pushing up the ladder and trying to sort of get the Sun up the ladder. Before this thing falls down, let's get out of here.
I agree. Let's climb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You managed to get up. I think if all of you on the ladder are now trying to get up and into the upper chamber, I think you can probably do that. And as you get into the top, you hear this frustrated, hungry squeal of this thing, whatever it was, as it releases the ladder and falls back into the water. And then the ladder goes, but doesn't fall off. It slowly stops vibrating as you all fall into the room at top, breathing heavily. Fam in quite a lot of pain.
I think as soon as you manage to help drag him up, he crawls with his good leg, trying to raise the other one back up against anything that he can rest his back against.
I'll help sort of I'll get Fam underneath his arms and sort of help him over towards somewhere he can sort of sit himself up and, and take a look at how mangled his leg is.
Yeah, but he just reaches for his chest and is he puts it inside his jacket and inside the life thing and he just grabs this photograph which is like soaking wet, and he just like looks at it while keeping it close so nobody else can really see, and then he just like closes his eyes so it's like
I'll sort of tap him on the chest and say, "Not yet," and see what I can do about his leg.
Cool. You could kind of. I mean, it's nastily twisted. You're not going to be walking on it for a number of days. You're not going to lose the leg, but for a number of days, it's going to be too weak to walk on. So you'll be hobbling, or being carried, or crawling.
looks like we're
It's
crawling.
okay, it's okay, fam. We'll find the med bay or whatever. We'll find a way to.
So
We've got two oars. We can take them to
Yeah.
your
Do we
legs.
know if anyone between us has any medical experience?
I think in the panic, I think the oars are down in the water. I don't think they're quite big, so it would have been quite an effort to carry them up.
Yuri's got
Well, what
his-
about the one I
his on his
stuck?
back.
What about the one I stuck back in my back? Wouldn't I still have that one?
I think it probably fell out. These things are 8 or 10 feet long, so I was quite
Okay.
generous letting you put it on your back in the first place. I think.
Having a two-hander.
You could get through the hatch.
10-foot
You have to
long
get rid of it.
My overalls.
It's like the doctor said you're never going to walk again, so there is no medical treatment for you.
Yeah. All the way down to my leg.
Whilst I've been
Okay.
seeing to Fam, I've just been looking around in the chamber that we're in. Is there any obvious signs that this rig is powered? Are there any lights on? Are there any sound of any generators running or anything like that?
No, you can't see or hear anything. I think many of you have probably been on rigs like this in the past. You would expect there to be a kind of a low hum or a low vibration if it was running. You're not detecting any of that.
Yuri, we need power.
We
We need communications. We need warmth and food and some sort of medical aid for Fam. I suggest we find the generators and restart the power if we can.
Yeah, Yuri will start kind of looking around, and the three main doors, they're completely shut and locked, correct?
They're shut. I don't think they're locked. So I think, Steve, if you want to put up the map of the spider deck, I think enough of you are familiar with these kind of places that there's no need for a kind of fog of war or anything. I think you probably know roughly what the layout of these places are like. And you are in the ocean access chamber. Yeah, that's where you are.
Okay. We must get to power station. Like he'll think that the power, first, right? But so Yuri will kind of go to this I guess the door right in front of us, right? Looks like the largest door that's probably going to open up into the main area. So Yuri will step up to that door, and I don't know if there's like an access code or if there's like a big latch or something. I'll just basically try to start to open that door.
Yeah, it's not that advanced. So quite a lot of this deck, particularly, is sort of made of like mesh, like metal. So a lot of the floors are mesh. You can look through them and see the structure beneath you. You can see down to the water. This allows a lot of the wind and stuff to come through. So it's not that high tech, I think is the point I'm making.
Okay.
So you can just open this door. Doesn't need power. It's just got a latch or a hatch that you can just pull open and push the door to come out.
So I'll do that. Pull back the doors, and I'll peek out, and right when I look out, like, is there anything that is of notice to me, or?
So the place looks pretty battered. Obviously, it looks like it's been deserted for some time. There's quite a lot of rust. A lot of the panels on the walls look weak and damaged. A lot of the railings and the the plates on the floor, the mesh plates that you walk across, don't look terribly secure. It's just looking a bit rough. It's definitely seen better days.
Okay.
Yuri, could we even get power back to this place?
Hi.
It is a fine
I
UPP
think so.
foundation. It's a platform designed and built by the UPP. It may have fallen into disrepair, but of course we can get the power back. Where's your
Built by
spirit?
UPP.
If power can be repaired, Yuri will do. And I'll just head out and I'll start heading towards the power systems area.
We need to find some medical supplies for fam
Yes.
and food.
It sounds like the job for an officer. Galina, if you could arrange that.
Yes, Mishenko, I will.
So
Fam,
as you-
are you okay here?
So as you come out, this place is quite dark. It's quite gloomy. You can hear creaks and clanks and the sound of metal scraping on metal. It sounds like it's just the noises of an aged platform that's being battered by the wind. But I might. Can I have a group observation roll, please? So again, the person with the best observation is who is in a position to look. Now, Pam, if it's you, I think you're probably not. You're inside the other room in rather a lot of pain. So the next person with the best observation other than Pam.
I've got 5. I think you've got 5 as well, Richard. And I rolled the last one, so if you want to roll this one.
I think I've got 5.
On the observation. Yeah.
Observation. Yeah, 5. Do I need to roll a stress dice with this as well, or?
Yes, roll your stress. Yeah, this is a skill test, so you roll your stress with it.
1 on the stress dice and no 6s.
Oh.
Okay. Could you roll panic, please? So roll.
I was very preoccupied with fam.
Turns around. Oh, the lights are off.
4 on the stress.
Or, okay, you're feeling very jittery. This place is giving you the creeps.
I don't like this. This place is may fall apart in a minute.
You're hearing these noises. You're not sure whether they are part of the base, the platform just creaking, or whether it's something else. Your brain is coming up with all sorts of
There's something here. Those creatures must have got on here. There
horrible,
must be more, smaller
weird.
ones.
You know, the worst thing that could happen is coming to your mind. You know, and you're getting yourself quite creeped out by it.
This is UPP's fault. If they bothered with anything.
Okay,
I'll just I'll start muttering to myself and cursing and
Could you put the map up again, please, Steve?
Yep.
So, Yuri, you are going to come round towards the power systems, yeah?
Yeah, can I just move I'm just kind of moving towards out through there.
Yeah, so just let's just put you about there for now.
Okay, that's good.
So this is a metal stairs going upwards. I don't know if you can see my cursor.
If you hold down the second button.
The right mouse
Aha.
button.
Okay, I
Is
see
it?
it.
Yeah. So these are steps going up, as they are on this side to the crew deck, which is above this one.
Okay.
What's everybody else doing? Is anyone going with Yuri?
Well, I was going to say that if you say that we kind of recognise this area, as soon as I step out, I'm going to recognise where we are in location. So the submersible bay is there. I'm a submersible pilot. I will know that will have some kind of first aid kit in there. So I can either take Fam with me, or I will just race on ahead to get in there. If we're leaving Fam behind on the floor so he can rest,
Fam
I
wouldn't
will
want to
race in.
He would. He's very keen, and like he touched that photograph back into his thing, and he's like, "Help me up."
No, I'll pick him up, arm over the shoulder, hand around
And
the waist. Come on, and I'll take Fam with me. And
I'll
we'll
go
head
the other,
towards.
once I see them moving, if I can, I'll go to the other side of Fam and help him up as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're here.
I'm going to head off with Yuri.
Okay.
Now,
If
you
possible.
did say that
So,
the
right.
grating that we're walking on is pretty rusty and a bit loose in some places. and that this deck was gloomy because the power's out. I picked up a flashlight from the boat, so I'm going to turn that on.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And I'm going to walk on the steel that's underneath the grating. There should be some steel underneath the grating, like a crisscross. So it's like walking on the white lines. I want to make sure I don't step off the white lines.
You 100% just beat me to that.
Yeah, that's very, very wise.
But yeah, I'm only aided by Sun, so I can only do what he does. But while I'm being aided and moving, can I make a check? And like he's looking around, but it's like he's so eager to like see. Can I see if like there's any sign of like previous people, any sign of like why it's deserted, abandoned? Can I make an observation check to see if like I see anything human?
Yeah, I'll let you make an observation check. I mean, there might not be much for you to see here, but give it a try. Let's see how many successes you get.
No sixes on that one, and stresses, no ones.
No, so from what you can see here, there's nothing that you can tell that kind of indicates why the place was actually abandoned. But it just does look very abandoned, and like it's been abandoned for some time.
Yeah, he's just looking for traces of like anything that's like abandoned in a hurry. So there's like bags on the floor or anywhere or anything like that. It's not like why, just if it was abandoned in a hurry.
Yeah, nothing that obviously looks like that. But again, I mean,
is the submersible inside the bay?
No, there is no submersible.
That's gone.
Yeah, but there are first aid kits in here.
Yeah.
On the walls in their like first aid packs.
Okay. If it's a free for all, I'm just going to go to the first aid pack off the wall, grab it, put it on the floor, start going through it, see what we got.
Yeah, it's a standard medical kit, so it'll give you +2 to medical aid rolls.
Okay.
There'll be enough in there to be able to stabilise Fan's knee, but it'll take a turn of work, which is about 5 minutes.
That's fine. I'm happy to give it. I'll give it a.
Can I help and add to that, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to make you make a roll for it.
Okay.
But between the two of you, 5 minutes work, and you can stabilise Fan's knee. You still can't walk on it, but it's not going to get any worse.
Is there some kind of a futuristic morphine jabbing me with it?
No tech.
Possibly not in the UPP.
It's just a round club on the side of the first aid.
Some like 20-year-old aspirins.
There's
a leather belt to bite on.
There's a half bottle of the best Siberian vodka. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, nothing really. But I mean, I think with what is in there, you can do enough to make him reasonably comfortable.
Okay. I'm sorry, fam. There's nothing I can do about the pain, but we can try to keep it together.
Yeah.
Can I look around for anything to try and fashion a crutch for him at all? I know it's a tall order, but just in case there's anything about them might work.
Nothing obvious in here, no. But whilst you two are doing that, you three are doing that, let's go back. Mashenko and Turgenev, you're going to the power systems room, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to put the map back up again, please, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're there already. So, yeah, I mean, there's, again, you're quite familiar with this. There are two ways into the room. Yeah, so again, the door here is one that you can just open. There's nothing, nothing on it to prevent you from doing that. I mean, these doors do have like traditional locks on them, but it's not locked.
Okay, and then is there a staircase that goes up that's right in front of us there to a door that's up higher?
Yeah, so this staircase at the end here goes up to the crew deck.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to the door. I think this is the way to go. And I'll open the door and I'll walk into that lower area. Just kind of knowing that more than likely the main sort of like generators or whatever would probably be on that lower level.
Yeah.
I'll wait in the doorway and just shine around the room with the torch.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. So, Turgenev, you're heading into the room.
Yep. And I'll start to look for like, generators and different like boxes where like I could get things powered back on.
Yeah. So this is very much a standard UPP tethered oil rig power generation room. You probably know, certainly anyone who's got any heavy machinery would know that the power for this tends to be generated through turbines that are actually in the tether itself or in the counterweight. And the equipment is here for all of that. If you're taking a look at it, if you can make a heavy machinery roll.
Okay. And still got that stress die, right?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 6s, but I got a 1 on the stress die.
Okay. Roll your panic. So that's roll 1d6 and add the number of stress dice you have to that to make a total.
Roll 1d6.
So you got 1 stress at the moment, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, so roll 1d6 plus 1, and then that's your total for your panic.
Okay, the total would be 6. I got a 5 on the
6.
die, plus 1.
Yeah. Okay, you're just managing to hold it together. But you're getting quite jittery. And Steve, if you put the map up again, please.
Yeah.
You're getting jittery because you're sure you heard something behind this door.
What was that? And I'll reach for my wrench, the heavy wrench.
Yep.
That I would have like in this little loop that's on the side of my overalls. I'll reach for it and just kind of like start to slowly slide it out. And I'm looking towards that door, hunched down. I kind of hunched down a little bit.
Okay.
From the door, seeing that Yuri has become distracted from his task that I gave him, which was to restore power to this facility, I will say, Yuri, focus. We must not let our guilt or our feelings interfere with our tasks. Yuri,
that's all you'll hear.
And I would like to use my command to attempt to reduce his stress level, please.
Okay. Let's come to that in a second. I will just say, Yuri, your skill with heavy machinery before you got shaken and slightly jittery showed you that the systems for generating power from those turbines, which are in the counterweight under the sea, have been deliberately disconnected. That might be a normal thing to do if you are like decommissioning a place like this. You think if you had the right parts, you could reconnect them.
Okay. All right. So in this moment, in this moment, I'm still kind of in a panic, right? Watching this back door.
Yeah. So you haven't panicked, but you are as close to panicking as you're going to get. You're very jittery as a result of this, but it's not having any mechanical effect on your character. But
okay.
So Steve.
Yeah. Can I use my command to try and calm him down, get him to concentrate on what he was doing? Yuri, focus on what our tasks are. We must restore power. Okay, that is a first step.
Yeah, so this is your counselor.
Correct. Yeah.
Talent, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So make a command roll then.
Okay. So my command is 5 with 1 stress die.
So is this a manipulation roll?
It's a command. So
basically,
manipulation is one of the other embassy skills.
With this talent, he's trying to calm you down and trying to reduce your stress.
Okay, but I've got this hothead talent. Would that counteract it? Because I don't like being told what to do.
I didn't pass anyway.
Okay, so I think yes, Yuri, you could definitely use your hothead to resist his command. Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't pass.
He didn't, but normally you would have declared that you were going to resist that straight away.
Okay.
I'll let it go this time. I won't enforce it. But normally it might have forced you to make another skill roll, which might have meant you panicked. So that's why I was thinking.
If you want to, we can play it out. It's up to you.
No, I'm good. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you don't lose any stress. Yeah, you fail to convince him. Back at the submersible room, you guys also think you hear something outside your door.
I guess it's like you guys are like tending to my leg. I hear it. I'm like, Yelena, son. And he like points to, would it be outside as in out here or in the other room over here?
No, so let me just get to the thing. So it's outside as in out here somewhere.
Right by our door that we came in.
Ooh.
That's me.
Yep. So I think you guys are probably slightly further in the room than that to get to the...
It's probably Euro or Slaven.
Yeah.
I'll go open the door. Hold on. You wait here.
Yeah, I have no reason to question that.
I'll go over to the door and I'll open it up.
Okay. Turgenev, Yuri, are you going over to the door in the power room and opening it?
Which one? The one that I heard the noises from?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually, since he didn't really convince me, I'm still kind of jittered. I'm actually going to go in the opposite. How light is it in this room? Can I see that back door?
Yeah, just it's pretty dim in here. It's not pitch black by any means, but it's quite gloomy and quite shadowy.
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm actually going to turn around and go towards that back door, that back room.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. You can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to go right over here.
Okay. So, son, you're opening the door.
Yes, I am.
Can you make a panic roll for me, please?
Okay. How many? One.
So roll 1d6 and add your current stress.
That's a 2 plus 1 stress.
No, okay, so it's 3.
3.
So you as the door opens, you see a figure stood right at the door, looking straight towards you, and you go, ah! Now, Steve, there was an image that we had. If you want to put that up, if you can guess the one I'm talking about.
Human?
Kind of. Is it Joe? Is it Joe?
It could be a Joe.
There you go.
That's what you see.
Joe.
Looking straight at you.
What? What the? It's. Are you do we use working Joes? Do we know what they are?
Yes. Yeah. You have working Joes in the UPP. They are low-level androids.
So I open the door. It's standing there in front of me. I'm just going to kind of jump back, take a step back. It's whoa. It's a working Joe. And I'll ask it. Can it understand me?
Yeah, it says, "Who are you, and where have you come from?"
Joe, that's a bit of a long story. We are in need of medical help. Can you assist? We are survivors from the Tunguska. We need urgent medical aid. Can you help us?
You're not sent from Commissar Yaroslavskaya, then?
I believe not. We are survivors from the Tunguska.
We can provide you with medical aid. Are there more survivors?
And I'll kind of step away from the door and show him. It's like, there are us three. Can you? My friend here is hurt. Can you help him?
Yes, we can provide medical assistance.
I think even as it's stepping into the room, there's Fam is like, he's obviously in need of medical attention, but he seems to like not be paying attention to that. Something is overriding the pain. He's like,
where is everybody? Why is this place empty?
You're in need of medical attention. We can give you that.
You said that 3 times now, Joe. Can you provide the medical attention now? Can you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mushenko and Turgenev. Danny, you don't know anything that's happening up there, but this door opens. And you can see a working Joe step into the room. Hang on. Let me... Hey, I did it. It worked. Oh, too slow. There's only... Okay. Well, we might need it later. Hang on.
There's Joe's everywhere.
Yeah. So another working Joe walks into here. He sees Mushenko and says, who are you and where are you from?
Steve, are you talking and muted?
He says this to Slevin?
Yes, because he hasn't seen you yet, Turgenev.
Okay.
I'm Commissar Slaven Mushenko of the UPP Tunguska. Our vessel sank, and we headed here for salvation. We're just restarting the power. I didn't realise the Joe network was operational here.
The power systems,
and I will brandish my badge at the creature.
The power systems, unfortunately, are non-operational at the moment.
Why?
The platform has been mothballed and abandoned. Are you in need of medical attention?
We're in need of heat and food, drink and warmth. Can you provide that?
Yes, if you would follow me.
I'll shine my torch directly in its face and shout across the room at Turgenev. See? It was nothing to be scared of. Stay focused on your task, Yuri. You'll do better.
And I'll just kind of look, kind of like, not disappointed, but just I'll sort of look at the ground and then look back up, and I'll walk towards the center of the room next to Joe. We need pots, and I'll explain the whole system. Like, we need the parts for the tether. And is there anything that we can do while we're here in this power area to kind of get that going? Or do we need to do the tether first and then come back? Or is there anything that I can do while I'm here to ensure that the power is ready to go and I got everything ready?
Not really. There are spare parts that you need which aren't available here that you can see in order to be able to get those turbines working again.
Okay, so there's parts that I'll need for the tether and for the power.
Yeah, so here in the power systems there are the turbines in the counterweight. You need equipment to be able to restore those to working function again. The tethers themselves, you're not quite sure what state they're in yet. You'd need to go and check out the tether maintenance room.
Yep.
It might be able to give you an idea of what state the tethers are in. Back at the submersible room, another working Joe appears alongside the one who's there. And the first one says, let us assist your colleague to the medical bay. If you, sirs, are able to walk, please follow us. And they both step in towards Fam to to pick him up.
Kind of like relaxes a little bit. He's like, ugh. Like knowing that they're going to pick him up. There's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
I have no reason to suspect them of anything.
I'll ask the closest Joe. Are there many of you operational?
There are 6 of us on board OLENYA Bay.
What happened here?
The platform was abandoned and decommissioned.
And why are you still here?
I do not know.
Are there any humans here? Are there any people?
There are no UPP officers here, no.
What about non-UPP officers?
There are no non-UPP officers here. You appear to need sustenance and rest and
yes, thank you.
warmth. Let us take you to medical center and you can recover from your ordeal.
Have any other creatures that live in the sea been able to make any place here home, or got into the on the platform at anywhere at all that we need to worry about?
I am not aware of any creatures in the sea.
The laugh from Tham, who's just like still grimacing at his leg, but he's like,
This is my leg.
picks up the bottom end of it and just waves it.
So are you guys letting the Joes lead you on?
Yes, I will happily let them pick Fan
We have
up.
utter faith in this wonderful technology.
Yeah, no
But
reason not to.
You will notice that I am very polite and thankful to Joe. I always say please and thank you.
I think even
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
the obvious, like, let's get you medical attention that they keep saying, Tham keeps pushing the questions like,
Why did they abandon here? Where did they go?
and he just will keep muttering. It's more to himself than anything.
Okay.
But he keeps going over that.
So, Steve, did you want to put up the map again, please?
Yep.
Mashenko and Turgenev, are you joining them?
I will allow the Joe to lead us where
Yeah.
it's going to. Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait, and I'm gonna go back. I want to go in that back room. I'm gonna open that door and go in that back room.
yeah, it's just another part of the power systems. It would be a storeroom, but there's nothing in it at all.
Okay.
Like a storeroom and a tool room, but it's empty.
All right. So nothing of note.
There's,
No,
nothing,
it's-
there's no
it's
folded bodies.
It's completely empty. Yeah.
It's completely empty. Okay. I'll just kind of look around. I'll just kind of look down at the ground. Kind of mumbling to myself. Have to get back to family. So, pull it matters.
Cool.
And then I'll just kind of shake my head and I'll walk back towards Slavin.
Yeah. Okay. So, don't need to move the icon, the tokens for the moment. But once you all get back to around here, they lead you up these stairs here. And Steve, if you could put the crew deck on, please. And that's these stairs here, where you come up, and then they lead you into the medical center, which is this room here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, the medical bay. So obviously Asanovic is with you as well. The medical bay here has got a number of convalescent beds. One moment, please. We've got a number of convalescent beds, basic sheets, basic blankets and stuff. It all looks pretty. It is all very, very Spartan. There's an auto dock, but that's got obviously no power to it. The windows are all pretty heavy duty things. Outside them, you can see there's a platform, like an open platform with a railing. So this is all open platform here with a railing, and then obviously over that is 60 meters down to the water. And there are 6 working Joes here in total, with the ones who escorted you here, and the other ones are laying out some water and what look like pretty old rations, but it's food, and they're offering you clean but tattered clothing to replace what you're wearing. There are some old and very tired looking towels that they're offering you, and they're making a pot of what smells vaguely like coffee, but it's not going to be particularly good because it's an old ration.
I grabbed the towels and the although they're old clothes, I just start stripping straight off away because it's just wet clothes.
Yeah.
And as I take the stuff from the Joe who's helping me, immediately thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. As I get changed and start scoffing some food.
The Joe you're talking to, as you're saying all of that, says, "You are very welcome, sir. You may call me Chelovek."
Oh, thank you, Chelovek. You don't go by Joe?
I have a designation, but my previous overseers chose to call me Chelovek.
Is that something that's normal?
It's not super abnormal. It's not standard by any means.
It's heard of, though. It's not like they're forming their own society.
No. No. I mean, their programming is quite limited, but it's sophisticated enough for them to understand the concept of I have a name or a designation, and to be able to interact with you in the way that they are.
Well, thank you, Chelovek. As I'm just kind of stuffing any food I can and getting changed. Chelovek, how long have you been here? How long has this place been decommissioned?
We have been here for 9 months.
9 months, all on your own?
Yes, since the base was deserted as part of decommissioning, we are awaiting extraction ultimately, but we have no idea when we will be extracted. Can I have stamina rolls from you all, please?
Ooh. Plus stress dice?
Yeah.
Oh.
Stamina. What are we rolling for stamina? Strength.
I got 1 6.
No.
Okay.
Oh, 3 6s and a 4 on the stress.
Okay. Did anybody fail?
0 6s.
Nope.
And
Okay.
I got 1 on the stress dice.
And I got a 1 on the stress dice.
Okay.
I just got 0 6s. I didn't get a 1 on the stress die.
Roll your stress, please, guys, just to see what that comes out at. I'll roll your panic. I mean, sorry.
I got a 1 on the dice, plus 1 is 2.
Yeah. So you're feeling jittery. You're holding it together. Fam?
It was a D6 plus the amount plus the 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a 2 plus 3, so that's 5.
Okay. You're holding it together, but the 3 of you who failed can't keep your eyes open. You're absolutely exhausted. The sun is going down. Your adrenaline is beginning to dump out of your system. You've hardly slept for 2 days, and you are all just absolutely shattered. Sun and Ivarenka, hey, let's party kind of thing. You don't feel so tired. but you are feeling pretty exhausted as well. But the others are kind of falling asleep.
Yeah.
And Chelevek says, perhaps we should leave you to sleep and continue these discussions in the morning.
I turn to the nearest Joe to me. Where is the operation manager's office?
On which deck is it on? It is on this deck. But Steve, you are literally.
I'm not sleeping with the rest of the crew. I'm going to sleep in the operation manager's quarters.
And I think at that's where Bam, who is like, he's taken off the wet clothes, he's just put a towel on himself, he's not really like got dressed into anything new. He sees you do that, and he just like, there's such a disapproving look of just like, it's not quite hate, but it is just like, really, there's an underlying seethe there that he's just like, and like,
yeah, that's cool. When you're saying that, Mashenko, Chelevek, if he could have a disappointed or unhappy look on his face, he does. He says, Olenya Bay has suffered much damage, and those parts of the platform are unsafe and are out of bounds. You should sleep here, where it is safe.
In the medical bay?
Yes, there are beds here. For your health and your well-being, you ought to sleep here. There is nowhere better on this platform to sleep. You are not able to sleep, I'm afraid, in the officers' quarters, because the officers' quarters are unfit for human habitation.
I pass a bit of food to Fam and sort of look at him and share the.
Yeah, there's like he takes it and he's just like smirks, but he's like just drifting off. He's got the food in one hand, his photos tucked in closely to him.
Yeah, but I think Mashenko, you are literally you are just.
Kommissar Mashenko, perhaps for the morale of everyone, we stay together for now. It is not much to sleep on one of these beds, surely. They are comfy and functional.
For the good of the people, Galena, I see your patriotism has returned. Yes, you are correct. And with that, I take off my clothes, drop them to the floor, sopping wet, look disdainfully at the rags that have been offered as replacement, dry myself with a towel, pick up my clothes and hand them off to the nearest Joe and say, dry those, I will expect them to be ready in the morning. And with that, I retire to my bed and collapse exhaustedly into my pillow.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I look longingly at the wrench on Yuri's belt.
Is that a euphemism there, Richard? Or
and
Galena, I should say.
Yes,
No, Richard.
Many a stray thought, and I'll head on over to sort of sit near Fam for a bit.
Okay. The Joes leave, shut the door behind them, and Chelevek says, sleep well. We will continue these conversations in the morning, and we will bring extra provisions for breakfast. And he goes out and shuts the door. Okay, 3 of you have basically completely zonked out. Sun and Galena, I think you are, unless there's anything you're desperate to do right now, you are both falling asleep as well.
That's fine. You mentioned there was the automatic bed thing. Although it's not powered on, can you still lay in it?
Yeah, you can lie on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab that as a bunk.
Okay.
I'll make my way kind of towards wherever Ivarenka is, like the nearest bed towards where he's at.
Okay. And then slump down asleep.
Yeah, well, as I kind of sit down, I'll start to sort of like pull off my my overalls a little bit, and I'm just kind of exhausted looking down at the ground. You'll see just a long silver chain that Yuri's wearing with like an oval piece of metal at the bottom. Looks somewhat like a locket. and it's all tarnished and everything. And I'll kind of hold it and I'll rub it in my fingers a little bit and kind of place it back on my chest. Golina.
Yes, Yuri.
You still awake?
Yes, I'm awake.
So Yuri, you make this brief because you failed your stamina roll, so you are falling asleep.
Okay. So and that's exactly what I'm trying to create here. Is like it's like I'm kind of like I'm about ready to pass out.
You're drifting.
Yeah, I'm drifting. I'm like in and out, sort of like as I'm laying down.
Cool.
Ship sink. Why you think ships sink?
We know why ships sink, Yuri. Sleep. Contemplate what was done.
And I just passed out.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. So you're all asleep. And you sleep the sleep of those who've escaped death many times over the last 48 hours. Then you sleep for a good 12 hours probably. When you start waking up, it's still dark. The planet has a 36-hour day, so 18 hours of night, so it's still 2 hours of darkness. And as you're sort of waking up and sort of blearily eyed, just it's still dark and kind of like you haven't really turned anything on. There's a sudden on the window, and you can hear a voice going, "Ah, ah, ah!" And you look up, and there is what looks like a totally terrified man at the window, banging on it, trying to get your attention.
Fam bolts upright, forgets about his knee.
I'll try and literally hold Fam down.
And I think we leave that to next time.
Hey.
All right. Good first session. Yeah.
We're still alive. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we're all still alive.
I thought it was touch and go at one point.
It's like when you almost got killed on the pre-credit credit reel, before even had the opening music. But it is
or
a
up the
dangerous
ladder.
little
Fan
scene.
has lost his leg.
Yeah. But I love that. That's like the start of any alien film. Like, there's something that goes wrong, and then
there's always one injured person.
Yeah, you think
who lives to the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like that Poncho in Predator moment where like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the woman have like made it the entire way, and this guy's just like, I've been injured the whole film, but getting on the helicopter. That was awesome.
That's cool.
That was
Thank you so much. That was brilliant.
Cool, good. Glad you enjoyed it so far. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. But yeah, you asked for a cliffhanger, guys, so I thought that's the ideal spot.
That was good.
Look forward to next time then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are back in. Is it 2 weeks, Dave?
2 weeks time.
2 weeks time. So yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks time to continue this story that was written by Dave. It's called the OLENYA Bay. So this is not available from Free League. This was written for conventions, wasn't it, Dave?
It was, yeah. Yeah. At some point, I'll probably try and release them as just for free somewhere. But I mean, I don't have time to make them look pretty. So at the moment, they're just paper. So it's, yeah. But I'd like to get them out there so other people can play them. Obviously. But,
I think you should.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need a volunteer who's good at things like InDesign.
That guy?
Funny that.
I didn't know that. That was a loaded question, but I didn't know that there was an obvious answer.
Yeah, there's always the obvious answer. Yeah, I'm a lifetime designer, so if you want some help, I'm happy to.
Cool.
Yeah, we can do that. Go on then, Steve. Sign off.
So thank you very much, Dave, for GMing us. And what I'll do is I'll just stick up your Effect podcast details again if you'd like to just tell people where you are normally.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook as Effect Dave. We have the Effect Podcast. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter, I think. Matthew, my co-host, does all the technical stuff. Yeah, I'm also going to be at the Free League booth, UK Games Expo again, as usual. And I'm also a freelancer, so if anybody has got any work they'd like to throw my way, give me a shout. You can get through to us through any of those methods.
Yeah, or contact us, me, and I'll put you in contact as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Always happy to do the networking and meet new people and
king of networking.
Exactly. Yeah, there we go.
That is your honoured title, Dave.
Richard, if you want to sign off and let people know where you are normally.
Yeah, so obviously Richard, Warrior Prince 3D. I'm a independent 3D printing company. I do anything from little tabletop figures to big pieces of scenery to big statues and anything in between. Also trying to dabble into the painting scene of doing sort of commission painting. If you ever need anything printed, painted, or even questions about it, hit me up on Instagram. No questions too small or too big. So,
as someone who's had his products, they're really good.
All of us have.
Yeah. they are very good. They are clean. There are no mold lines, no print lines.
Yeah. My pride and joys.
yeah, absolutely. They are stunning. Even because I 3D print, and it's way better than what I can do with my own personal stuff, and it's amazing. You should, if you're looking for 3D print stuff.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Richard. Mr. Maguire.
Josh Maguire. You can find me at the Maguire Review, where we're doing unboxings and reviews of all tabletop genre type stuff. We've got board games, RPGs, tabletop miniatures, and you can find me here streaming live playing RPGs on the Badgers as well.
Thank you very much. And Ian?
I'm Ian, the Dragonborn Bard. I am the head bard for Dragonborn Industries, which is my combination of tabletop nerdiness of making dice and less 3D printing than Richard does. Just little miniatures here and there. We've got an apparel range. We're going into like YouTube unboxings and reviews, and hopefully in this room, which has become the bane of my life and my pride and joy and my happy place, is hopefully the studios for Dragonborn Industries and some upcoming live streams. And also, you can find me here on the Badgers.
Yep.
And I can recommend his dice because likewise, I have his products as well.
I saw some pictures of that studio online. Looks great.
Yeah, I will. After this, if we're still on chat, I'll put the PTZ on and I'll show you around the room.
I shan't show you my studio. It's embarrassing.
It's funny as well because Ian was showing us pictures when he first moved in, and to see what he's done with it's fantastic.
Yep.
Well, tomorrow I buy the last of the wood that I need to build the set for. Basically, all behind what you see here, you won't see the minis. You will hopefully see what will be a two-sided set. So one side will be sci-fi, the other side will be fantasy, and then we can just flip those boards around and have an in-studio.
Nice.
Ambiance.
Nice.
Right. Thank you very much. Chief Badger himself, Mr. Dave.
That's me. That's
We're
it.
not
That's all you
worthy.
need to know. What we've got coming up, we've got our brand new Dragonlance campaign will be starting next week. Plus we have some more. We're doing another live interview on Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday, and then Friday we've got Dragonlance. We're also up and coming with the UK Games Expo. I saw that Chav Hunter in chat was shouting out about Salou. We won't be at Salou, but we are going to be at UK Games Expo because we've been invited along as press. So we will be there. Me and Steve will be there all weekend and every evening, including the press event, talking to loads of people, handing out custard cream biscuits.
Yeah.
That's it.
We will. So I'm Steve. I've been allowed to be in charge today because it's a sci-fi game, so that's great. You won't find me anywhere else. I'm only here. I'm only let out my box to come and play arseholes on the internet. I've had a great time being a commissar. So thank you for indulging with me.
For now.
If you want to know more about the Alien RPG game, then please check out the Free League site. I'll just put up their link there, freeleaguepublishing.com. It is an excellent game. Really love it. It's it's one of my favourite games at the moment. So having a great time playing that. And I guess that's it. That is us finished for this evening. We're back in 2 weeks' time, and we've run over by 1.5 minutes, which is not bad for me. So we'll leave it there.
See you in a couple of weeks.
See you later.
Cool. Cheers, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Both of us press it at the same time.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.